So I'm right in the middle of Shelfapalooza over here, but I just couldn't put it off anymore. I really want to take a moment to talk about Wei Jiang's new evolution, NE-01. This is basically their masterpiece Megatron in a way. Also, although it's not sized for the current masterpiece line, it's a little larger than that. It goes with whatever their oversized knockoff MP10 was. I don't know the name. Short version is he's cool. If you've had your eye on him, definitely pick him up. I think he's worth it. He's not expensive. I think he averages at $100, and I don't know exactly when this video will come out. Hopefully on Father's Day. But I believe right now TF Sports actually has him on sale for like $80 or $75 or something like that. So it's even cheaper. So it's a good toy for even cheaper. So a couple things about him. You know, being Wei Jiang, most people assume, oh, it's a knockoff of something. It's not. As far as I know, it's their first toy they released that has no knockoff parts at all. It's all basically original designs. Let me walk that back a bit. Some of the accessories are either knockoffs of MP36 or at least, you know, copy it. But, you know, like the legs design looks kind of like a Polygon, but it's not. None of the rest of the transformation has any similarities that I know of. Nice, lots of details on his belly. One of his mini chest plates has this, and we'll get in the accessories in a minute. Got a nice big cannon. It actually comes with batteries, which is really nice. Pew, 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 pew. Kind of a really neat thing this guy does is the stock is actually in the legs. Not a very large stock. That's what she said. It's still cool. One other Megatron toy has done that. Not many, if any. Maybe the Toy World Hegemon, but I don't think so. So yeah, I don't think anybody's done that. I don't care what toys look like from the back. I don't display my toys from the back. But if a toy does clean up really nicely all around, that's definitely a bonus point. And look at that. That is clean as fuck right there. I don't know that you see many Megatrons that look this nice from the back. That's really well done. So yeah, let's talk about his accessories. So first, there's what you come to expect. Got his laser sword. Got a golden key because MP36 had a golden key. Got his helmet because Apollyon had a helmet. Got his prime killing gun. Got his energy mace because, of course. And then here comes some stuff where it looks like the accessories were copied from at least the design of them. So, you know, you got his damaged chest and his damaged face that goes with it. And even more faces. Head swaps out easily. Just push up on the chin. Slide in the next one. Bloop, bloop. Just has a nice little hook on the back. Works really nice. Has his scope that has the batteries in it. Very cool. And then, of course, the best accessory ever. Orange cap in a separate wrapper. This is just the oddest thing to send along. I guess maybe they did that way certain retailers, if they knew it would be a problem, they could have fixed it. Maybe, but you know, usually it comes with the cap or it doesn't. So just the fact that they gave a separately sealed cap is just weird. Whatever. Can't believe it. I almost forgot kind of the coolest accessory in a way is the silencer that goes on it and just plugs into the end of the gun. But it transforms into laser beam. That's it. So, well, this is a very cool accessory. I mean, that's just kind of, you know, one of those little above and beyond things that no reason you have to do it, but they did it, and it's just really neat. It's cooler that it exists more than the toy or the accessory is actually cool. It's not that great, but it's still really cool in a way, if you dig. You know, the transformation is kind of clunky. Parts in the back, it's like, where does this go? Should that fold down? Like, nothing really clicks into place or snags or tabs in or anything, but it's still just a really neat idea. And again, it just feels kind of like how the way the back cleans up. It's just one of those extra bits to push it over the line. It's just cool that it has, but not a reason to buy the toy itself. Plastic wise, he feels sturdy. Like, I don't think anything's gonna break. He's got nice die cast if he has other die casts, I'm just not sure off the top of my head. Some of the parts in the leg are pretty thin, like all these panels that fold around. That said, I've been pretty rough on them and everything's fine. You know, I've bent them pretty good. They're a little pliable, honestly, but they seem fine with no issues on them, so that worked out well. Like, the plastic doesn't feel like Takara grade level, but it doesn't feel like a knockoff either. It's somewhere in the middle, but I've transformed him back and forth a few times now, and he's held up really well. So right now I have the chest with the purple emblem on it, but I'll probably actually switch it back to just the normal plain chest and put a logo on it. This does look cool, but it just I don't have a sticker that fits that size exactly, that looks right with it. So I think just got to go with this in a repro label. So I don't collect the oversized knockoffs, but I still have NP-01 and I really like that toy. I really got him to replace NP-05 that I somehow still have. I loved this toy so much when it came out, even through all of its flaws. I was just so happy to get it, and I enjoy gun transformers, but guess I should get rid of it now. I'm not even going to have it on the shelf. It's hard to part with, but I guess that's an existential crisis for another day. So the next question that comes up with the course of Megatron figures, how's the transformation? So when I've been thinking about transformation, I break them down into, you know, how long are they, how complex are they, as well as are they intuitive or not. If a transformation is intuitive, it can be a longer transformation process and I will still enjoy it and like it. So this guy did pass the no instructions test. I double checked a few things, like when I was nearing the end. He comes in robot mode, by the way, just to make sure like I got some stuff tabbed in right. There's 2 or 3 like parts that I kind of aren't as intuitive, but they're minor, and on the whole I find him not bad and I find him pretty fun. So I'm not going to do a full transformation video. If you want to see that, I'd recommend probably Ben's Collectibles video of this guy, but I am going to get him into gun mode, and then I'll point out a few spots that you may want to look out for.
One thing I always forget is that under the crotch here, there are actually tabs that hold the leg in place really securely, so you want to make sure you lift them up before you try to separate the legs.
The feet here, getting this piece to tab in, you really just gotta push it in. It will totally go in there, but yeah, you definitely have to get to, you know, bring the power of Thor sometimes to do it. Here's probably the piece that has gotten me the most. These pieces here, in robot mode, they're gonna go down flat across the leg and they kind of scoop around the leg. But in gun mode, they just go straight up, and I don't really know if they serve a purpose or what purpose they serve in either one, but that one always gets me. So you just kind of get them up, and then once you got it squeezed down, you just have to kind of line everything up and push it into place, and then you can press that forward. This part has gotten a little loose on mine. Just now happened with this transformation. I mean, it still stays up fine, but it is not solidly in place. Flipping him back here into robot mode to finish up the review, and I just wanted to point out a few things. One is make sure to always get this part up here in the stock and fold down that, push this around, and when you flip that up, that piece is going to peg into there, and that's part of the leg stabilizers. The other part is here in the knee. See this bar here? Maybe it's all black in here, it's hard to see. Peg there, and there's a peg there. This is really awkward. That's why I didn't want to transform this guy on camera, because he's really not that bad. But once this is flipped out, this peg will go into there, and the other notch of it there will go into there. I don't know if I can get it to where you can see it. But yeah, it's like, it's not really that bad as it seems. There we go. That'll just go in there like that. And then the leg will be really nice and stable. Other bit I wanted to point out was, you know how I said this was loose? Apparently he'd gotten shifted up like that. You want it shifted down, especially when you're going back into robot mode, because that bar has to bend across. You definitely want it shifted down for robot mode, because that bar has to come across. And if that bar is not across, then you'll start to break it, and I wonder if that's what I might have actually done a little bit. The last thing I kind of wanted to show off here is flip up this, open this up, push that in, and then there. His waist will be really secure. You can flip that down. Make sure that's pushed in good. Yeah. Nice and solid. Oh, gun. Pew pew. So here he is with all his attachments in place. And I mean, it's a Megatron gun. I have big hands and it fits my hands nicely. The trigger is cool. It doesn't click, but it has a nice springy release on it. You know, here I got the laser beak piece silencer plugged in. It's kind of difficult to get in, to be honest. There, take it out. Kind of the same with the scope on both arm mode and in this mode. Just it came off easier there than it normally does, but it's usually a pretty tight fit on both there and on the arm. It's pretty nice. Again, it's got the stock built into the legs that, you know, it unfolds, and not a very long stock, but it gets the job done. Keep telling myself that. From this side, you know, you can see, you know, a good bit of screw holes and whatnot. You know, I think it's kind of got to be somewhere. This side cleans up quite a bit nicer, but both sides clean up nice. You know, there's not like a ton of panels on the sides here. They look pretty nice. There's not too much breakup on the gun itself. It's a little wide, it's a little thick, but I think that's totally fine. It's totally acceptable. Megatron transforming into a gun has always been a bit of a ridiculous concept that we kind of all love as being part of the franchise, and I think it pulls it off really well. So getting back here into robot mode, the only extra thing I would note is just don't plug the feet in. Like, even getting it back out to wrap it around to make his heel, I had to get a spudger and really wedge it in there. I just wouldn't do it. I would just leave it tabbed out. Wrapping this guy up, again, as I said earlier, you know, I definitely recommend him, especially for the price. Such a great price on a cool toy. He doesn't have like paint all over, but he has this great finish. He has this just kind of speckled fleck finish baked into the plastic, which is nice. And you know, when he has detail paint where he needs, you can see lots of silver accents everywhere, and of course the colors on his chest. You know, and again, the diecast has a nice finish on it too. Everything really just has a nice finish on it, to the point that it makes up for the fact that, you know, it's not coated in paint like MP36 is. He looks the part. You know, he scales great with NP-01, I think. Again, it's a little off, but it's completely good enough. And so here he is on the shelf with the NP-01. You can see he's a little bit taller, but not so tall that, especially in person, that it looks like wildly out of scale. Like, I don't think you would notice it unless I said, hey, look at this. He's a little taller. I think he looks really nicely there with kind of these things that kind of are a little out of scale, or, you know, with the main Masterpiece line, but are Masterpiece quality, like the MMC tapes and the Matrix of Leadership. And I just think that makes for a nice, cool looking shelf. Again, the only complaints I would have against the plastic feels a little thin, but for the price, what? You know, the plastic is definitely durable. I've beaten it up. I've stressed out a little bit, and it's all held together fine. Comes with a ton of accessories. The transformation's pretty intuitive. Doesn't have too many, you know, gotcha parts. Overall, I dig it in it. You know, it met all my needs that I was looking for. The transformation's unique. It cleans up really nice. The fact that the stock folds out of the legs, that's a cool part. And the laser beak piece is nice. You know, I really don't have too many complaints for this guy. Again, at the price, and I think you always have to consider price when you're thinking about a toy overall. Definitely recommend this guy. Pick him up if he was on your radar and you got a spot for him in your collection, and I think you'll dig it. So, later.